nothing more important in the present moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's important to always plan ahead and make sure your actions reflect the future you want for yourself. But that starts with each moment, each day. Yo, man, y'all already know what it is, baby. It's that Island God Talk podcast, man. The best fucking podcast in the world, man. You already know y'all co-hosts are J.U. and Kingmeechyyy in the building, man. How you doing, man?
Shit, I'm doing good, man. My birthday was yesterday. It's still my birthday. I'm still turned up.
My boy 23. Like, did you do any, like, reflecting over, like, past few days? Just, like, coming to a new age, a new year? Did that really mean anything to you? Or
it meant a lot to me for the simple fact I made it another 365, man. Like, who would have thought I made it this far? Younger me might would have never thought so. Like, because it seems like when you're younger, like, your age just goes by so slowly type shit. But now it's like, I feel like it's moving. So I definitely did a little bit of reflecting, thinking about how far I came. Like, and really I'm just proud of myself. For the simple fact, it's like I'm 23 and we doing huge things. Like,
hella grateful, man. That's what it sound like to me.
Definitely, hella grateful. But that's really it for real. What you been up to this week? Last week of March?
Last week of March, now I'm saying just really getting ready for April, but like taking each day as like the most important day. Know what I'm saying? There's nothing more important than the present moment. Know what I'm saying? Like it's important to always plan ahead and make sure your actions reflect the future you want for yourself, but that starts with each moment and each day. So.
That is very so true. Staying in the moment, being present in those good times, man. I feel like that's really what it's all about.
Facts.
But, hey, we going to get right into this thing today, man, because we got a great one. What can I really say? Because, and then we going to go down this list, and these are all red flags in women. And we going to say, like, why they are a red flag.
And this tweet, I seen it from a woman's profile, just so you know what I'm saying. This was a woman sharing red flags for men to look out for when it comes to women. So.
Definitely. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, the first one. She calls you girl in conversations.
Yeah, I think that's a red flag in itself, because some girls they used to talking to dudes like that because they probably used to dealing with weak dudes, and if she try to play that with you, you know what I'm saying, you gotta cut it off. Like, you gotta, like, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gotta cut her off right there, because that's it's a red flag, but it's something that can be fixed. You know what I'm saying? If she changes her behavior after the first time you bring it up, then it's cool.
Definitely, but I do agree, but it's the same thing. If she calls you girl, or like, you know how girls be like, bitch?
Yeah.
Like, if she doing shit like that, that's definitely a red flag.
Yeah.
Because she can't look at you as, like, really masculine. Like,
yeah, it's like a respect thing. And you got some people that don't respect themselves, so they don't know how to show other people respect. That's why I say, like, you corrected that one time if you see potential in her, know what I'm saying? But if you don't, just cut her off right there. If you see some potential and you think it's just a minor flaw, she only did it one time, make sure she never do it again, because if you do, you out the door. Now, if she do, you out the door.
Definitely, because that usually happens when it's like gossiping and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so sometimes it'll slip up, know what I'm saying? But no more than once, you feel me?
Literally, no more than once. All right. The second one, she hates Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, I think that's a red flag, because Kevin ain't do nothing but try to make the world better. He tried to make relationships between men and women, especially black men and black women, better. He was telling the guys what we need to do better, and telling the women what they needed to do better. So exactly. If she hating on Kevin Samuels, she don't want to improve herself. She probably a hoe.
Definitely. And this feels like this the same thing. Kevin Samuels probably never said nothing to that girl in his life.
Exactly.
So is she just hating them for no reason? Most of the time, just like with Tate, like, they ask like a bunch of random people, why do you not like this person? They can't give a reason.
They don't even know why. It's just because other people don't agree with the things they say, or they disagree with one little opinion and so stuck in their ways and not willing to listen and learn if something makes them uncomfortable.
Definitely. They probably heard one clip out of context and then just all of a sudden, I don't like him.
Definitely a red flag.
Literally. She supports sexual liberation.
Yeah, man, that's definitely a red flag. If she thinks that if she feels like showing her body, or she feels like having sex with a lot of dudes is liberating, red flag. To me, liberation for a woman is being exclusive about herself and being in control of who has access to her and who doesn't. That's really the freedom and liberation. And she can control, even if she is horny or whatever, she can control herself and not just go fuck any random nigga. Nah, I'm saying, to me, that's liberation. So if she thinks sexual liberation is like freedom or something to strive for herself, red flag for sure.
I was about to say, I don't know how red. I don't think a flag can get any redder than that, like type shit. Because if she wants to be, if she feels like sexual liberation is having sex with multiple different men, man, that's not freedom. That's really bondage. Shit, if you bonded to every single one of them men you had sex with, I mean, like that's so. If you really wanted to be liberated, I would say having at least the least amount of bodies as you want to, because then every time you have sex, you know you're connected to that person, especially with a woman, like.
Facts.
So you will probably, especially as a woman, you want less bodies as possible. Like,
yeah, that's probably one of the biggest on the list too.
Literally, like if she thinks that, you might want to get her gone. She finds a way to shift the blame, no matter how right you are.
Yeah, that's a red flag, because it's like no woman, of course, they're emotional creatures. They don't want it to be wrong, but if she can't accept that she's wrong and she needs to change her behavior somehow, or doesn't, because to me that sounds like it doesn't matter if she's wrong. She's not willing to work on herself to fix it. She just thinks a nigga supposed to handle that. Nah, I'm saying, nah, it's a red flag for sure.
Definitely a red flag, and I feel like that kind of ties into accountability. We all know like women not the most accountable people in the world, but like if that's your wife or you're serious about this girl, she should definitely have some kind of accountability. Know what I mean?
Yeah, because like being like, as a woman, you should want to be led. And a part of that is having a authoritative guidance type of figure that will tell you like, yo, you're doing this wrong. And of course, as guys, we got to tell women stuff in the right way because they are emotional, but they should still be able to understand and change behavior. Or if not, you cut her off. Like,
simple as that. And I feel like another thing, like if she just shuts down, like if you're trying to explain to her something and all she does is shut down, that's also a red flag too.
Yeah.
Like, granted, it can be changed, but like that's like a her problem. And if she's not ready for change, it will never change. Type shit.
Facts.
All right. The mention of submission and femininity, goodness gracious, triggers something in her.
Yeah, I've seen that about a lot of women. They'll say like they aren't feminine because of whatever reason, whether it's societal or whatever circumstances they came from. They don't want to do the work to like understand that they need to be able to operate in their feminine energy when dealing with a real man. It can't just be all masculine. Some women feel like, oh, I need a guy to make me masculine. I mean, make me feminine. Which, I mean, being the most masculine version of yourself, that will bring more femininity out of a woman. But like, it's the Islanders, it's guys like us, we don't want to have to go through that. We meet the girl and she's already feminine because she's been taught to be feminine by her parents and like that's like just how she is, versus we got to try to build this bitch up and all that shit.
Definitely. And I feel like a lot of women say that like, oh, I'm never gonna submit to a man. Like, who is a man? Bitch, we the leaders of this country. That's who the fuck we are. But
like the same one you gonna call when something broke in your house,
literally,
or you need protection, or fire in your house, like 99% of the time is gonna be a man you're calling.
Definitely. Like
car breakdown.
Definitely.
Like,
definitely. I feel like that's a lot of women's problem. They submit when they want to submit, when it's convenient for them.
Exactly, and that's not how it can be if you want a good relationship.
Very so true. She never says what she did wrong in her past relationships. God damn.
That's it's a red flag. You know what I'm saying? It's a red, like, because it's the common denominator thing. If like, okay, you got all these bad things to say about all these dudes, but you never did nothing. You was just the most perfect girlfriend the whole time. And a lot of times, some women, they might not even understand what they did wrong, depending on the background they came from. It happens a lot, like with their younger relationships. They refuse to take accountability for those things when in reality, yeah, maybe their boyfriend wasn't the best boyfriend, but if they really took a good look in the mirror, were you the best girlfriend? Were you doing everything you could have did? Know what I'm saying? But I mean, it starts with us as the dudes walking in our energy, but if she's just constantly bashing her exes when they come up, like it's definitely red flag.
Definitely red as hell. Because at the end of the day, common denominator, you had some part to play in why y'all broke up. I mean,
either that or you just consistently choosing bad men.
Literally. And that's still your problem because why are you attracting these men? And if she's never saying what she did wrong, just know she probably did a lot of shit wrong. Like, nobody's perfect.
Facts.
She says, I'm outside.
She says, I'm outside?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a red flag. That's a red flag, you know what I'm saying? If she says she outside, you know, she's for fun. Like, if you're looking for some fun, then that's a green flag, you know? But if you're looking for like a long-term relationship, it's a red flag, because especially if she's on the internet, like she's screaming it, and then she, like, that's her mode every time the weekend comes around. This is a red flag, you know what I'm saying? I mean, she ready for anything. That means she wants to be outside, be on the scene, be around all the niggas, be around the attention and all that shit, be around everybody that's popping, and be in the places that all of the I'm outside people frequent, you know?
Exactly. Definitely a red flag, because why do you want to be in the mix? Like, nothing good happens outside. Like, for real.
Exactly.
So if nothing good happens outside.
Exactly. It's like, there's no exclusive bitches that be outside all the time type shit.
That is very so true. She puts her friends and families in y'all business.
Red flag for sure. Like, that's when it gets worse, when she's the type that brings it to the internet. Like, when y'all have an argument, she's posting all the time. Even if it's on her close friends, she's still, like, but we can keep it on the friends and the family. Like, that's allowing other people's opinion and other people bullshit. And it's also going to give other people an opinion. Because think about if y'all had a little disagreement and she goes and tells her best friends and her mom and all this shit. Now her mom and her best friends are forming this opinion about you. Whole time, 20 minutes later, when y'all get back together and you done brought her some flowers and shit, she done forgave you for whatever bullshit that done went on. But now her parents and her friends and all that shit, they still have that opinion.
That's exactly why. Like, I always say this, like, and I tell all the people, like, I'm kind of close to as well. Like, if we have an argument or something, that has to stay between us. Because you were going to forgive yourself. Your mom, she's not going to forgive the way you forgive.
Exactly. Like, once it's out in public, and then that's when people be mad about other people commenting on their shit. But you putting your business out to the public. You're telling somebody that 9 times out of 10 they're gonna go tell somebody, and they're gonna tell somebody. So now your shit getting mixed up, because you know how telephone work. The story be switching up and shit. Like, all, like, it just bad for the relationship. Red flag for sure.
Definitely. And it puts cracks in your relationship, for the simple fact, especially if she's posting it online, because now dudes are swiping up giving her advice. Dudes that want to fuck her giving her advice.
Yup. And you got, beta niggas and pillow talking niggas that be saying, like, yeah, I don't know why you with him, you need to leave him, and all type of shit. And it's all because your girl can't keep stuff in house.
Exactly. Like, that's how shit gets fucked up. She goes out every weekend.
Yeah, that's a self-explanatory red flag. Like, if you don't understand that, then you don't understand that the woman that you want is not on the scene every weekend. Like, those women, they're for fun. You know what I'm saying? They're cool to hang out with and have a good time with. But at the end of the day, you're not gonna want them, because if you got feelings for one of them, they're still gonna be wanting to go out. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna, like, I don't know why dudes be wasting their time trying to change a bitch, like,
literally,
like, change what she do and change who she is. Like, yeah, it's possible. Yeah, you can do it. I don't know why you would waste your time doing that when there's plenty of women that ain't on the scene every weekend. You just gotta find them.
Definitely. And if she's out every weekend, even once y'all get together, like you said, she's gonna still want to go out. I mean, and then you trying to keep her in the house, that's literally gonna make her resent you.
Exactly. Unless that's even if it is your boundary and that's what you set, if she likes you enough and if you got enough things that she want out of a man, she might try to play that role for a while, but the streets gonna be calling, man.
Exactly. First time you do something wrong, she's outside. Just know that.
Facts.
She says real hot girl shit.
Yeah, that's a red flag, because that shit just thotty at this point. Know what I'm saying? I feel like when Meg first came out, a lot of the girls were saying, and not all of them. There's some jumps to understand, but I don't know. Like, you see how Meg is seen now. She done been with all these dudes and all that shit. She's your girl out here saying real hot girl shit. Niggas might think she on go. You know what I'm saying? Red flag, you know?
Definitely. If I heard a girl saying real hot girl shit out of a window, I'm thinking, oh, she's busting it nice.
Facts. We fucking walking down by the clubs and the girls' car ride by and they blasting some music. They real hot girl shit out the window. Hell yeah, you niggas is assuming that them shorties is on go. It's like they advertising themselves at that point.
That's all it really is. She has a Zeus subscription.
Yeah, you know, that's all. If she has Zeus, she just watching drama and bullshit, nothing educational. I mean, I don't got Zeus. It might be some education, but I like the clips I be seeing be drama and Blueface and Krishan and drama, like. And I think they have like some zesty shows on there too, like
literally
nothing good for your future.
Definitely, I agree totally. Me personally, I don't even know what the fuck is on Zeus, but I know it can't be good. Yeah. Because this shit is called Zeus. Like, what the fuck is it? She regularly comments on reality TV.
Yeah, that's a red flag because most of the women that's doing that, they don't really got much going on, and they keeping up with all these random people lives. Like, women, they're gonna gossip, so it's like, but I feel like it's levels and limits. Like, your girl shouldn't be caring about what a fucking shade room celebrity new colors on her fucking toenails, and she's excited about that and want to go get the same colors. Like, it's definitely levels to it, but if she's frequently just commenting on fucking reality TV shit, like, yeah, it's probably a red flag.
Definitely. And I feel like commenting, that can be anything, like tweeting about it. Like, if your girl tweeting about reality TV, drop that girl, because why is she taking time out of her day to real life tweet it like she's in the mix?
Picking sides and all that literally shit. Like, that shit is a red flag for sure.
Definitely a red flag. She considers herself a bad bitch. Quotations on bad bitch.
Yeah, I would say, I could see how that's a red flag. I mean, what I want, to me, the Jones that be saying like they're a bad bitch, they the type they most of the time they be masculine women and they put all these makeup, put these wigs on, these nails, get these surgeries and all this shit just to seem more feminine when, like, cause you never really see, like, usually, like, even like a Beyonce or a Savannah James, you don't see them saying like, oh, I'm a bad bitch. You see other women calling them that, because that's how women give each other praise and shit like that. You don't never see like even like my girl, she don't be walking around like oh, I'm a bad bitch and hang out with girls that talk like that and shit like that. To me, it's like birds of a feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? So.
Definitely. To me, the problem is in the actual word bad bitch. Like, one, why would you call yourself a bitch? Like, even like. And especially, that's another thing I don't get. Women don't like a lot of women don't like when men call them bitch, but you call yourself a bitch. Like, and they be like, oh, it's different.
No, it's the same thing as dudes that don't like niggas saying nigga, you know. And
literally.
They say it, or they don't like other people saying nigga, but they say it to each other. Like, nah, I'm saying it's the same along lines, but I feel like bitches a lot like. They've kind of turned it to a term of endearment too, but I don't know. Just identifying as like, oh, I'm a bad bitch, red flag. You know?
Horrible. She glorifies Instagram models and rappers' baby mamas.
That's the same thing as like the reality TV shit. Like, if she's glorifying them girls, she's idolizing those girls, she's gonna want to be like them girls and do actions like those girls and talk like those girls and things like that. Because women, they are like creatures of habit, and they tend to follow each other, follow trends and things like that. So you gotta have a girl that's not with all the trends, or she's just not doing everything because everybody else do it. She know how to distinguish between queen activity and hoe activity, you know?
Definitely. And I feel like, especially now, like with the Dirk and India stuff, like everybody's be like, or the Jada Way, like I seen on Twitter like, are you a Jada Wada girl or an India girl? Like, why the fuck would you want to be either?
Exactly.
Like,
What is that like? What does that define? That like,
literally,
I'm guessing they're saying because Jada Wada is like she's back and forth with Lil Baby, but India's supposedly done. Like, I guess that's what they're saying. But to me, why would you want to be that? You want to be, as a woman, you want to be a queen. You want to be, okay, you found a king, you found a dude that's the best version of himself, and he's able to bring you up and inflate your status, and now you're seen as a queen because you have this dude that a lot of girls want. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But to me, like, I don't like either of it for the simple fact it's like these women not getting treated the best. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. You don't want to be either. You want to be a queen. Like, I could see if they were saying you want to be Jada Wada, India, or Savannah James. Not saying, like, I would think most girls would want to be Savannah James. Yeah. Like, they got a nigga that's at the top of his field, and she don't really gotta do too much. She take care of the kids. She got her own little things going on. But she don't gotta be slutty. She's not worried about showing her ass. And like, we never gonna see her twerking. We're never gonna see her twerking. Like, I could probably bet money on that shit.
I probably would too.
These other hoes, these Indias and Jada Wadas, they gonna be twerking and be showing off BBLs and all that shit. Like,
exactly.
I don't want them hoes.
And then they be getting publicly disrespected. Like,
yeah,
that shit is so outplayed. But anyway, she doesn't see anything wrong with single motherhood.
That's a red flag. Like, I think a lot of junks, they want more so to have a baby than to get married, which is a red flag. If she's already planning to be a single mother, or if she's saying shit like, well, I just want to have a kid, and she doesn't have any prospective, like, husband, yeah, it's a red flag. Because even in the ones that glorify or big up, like, I mean, you gotta, like, women, they're gonna, like, support each other and shit. Like, they're not real like how men is and shit. Like, as a, like, but if you're striving and that's your goal to be a single mother, like, it's a red flag. Or even if you're okay with it, because you shouldn't want to be that. You should want better for the kid. It ain't even really about you. You should want your kid to have a 2-parent home.
Definitely.
The statistics don't lie. The kid, like, yeah, there's kids with 2 parents homes that do fucked up shit, but, like, the statistics, you're better, you're well off if you have both parents.
Exactly. And I feel like this generation kind of misconstrued it, because, like, at a certain point there was a lot of single family households just because, like, the man was, like, getting locked up, like, he just legit couldn't be there.
Yeah. Or,
like, for some reason, or he's, like, legit working, like, or he had to go to the army or some shit. Like, now I feel like it's more glorified, like, oh, I don't need a man, blah blah blah, like, I can raise this kid by myself. Yeah, which you probably could, but it's still not going to be the best.
It's not going to be most optimal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want a 2-parent household, a feminine mother, and a strong masculine superior man.
Exactly.
That's always going to be the best for any kid growing up.
Exactly. I'm glad you said optimal. You should try to get what's best optimal, not do it just because you think you can.
Yeah, facts.
She goes through your phone or asks to go through it?
She goes through your phone or asks to go through it?
Yeah, or asks to go through it.
Yeah, I think it's a red flag if she's, like, constantly doing it. To me, it just depends on, like, if this is, like, your girl or your wife, she should trust you enough to not feel like she needs to, because it's like if she goes looking, most niggas not smart, so 9 times out of 10 is, even if it's something small, like a girl, you're gonna find something. Saying, even if, and you don't. The thing about it is, my thing about phones is be like the privacy of, like, a woman. She'll go through your group chat with you and your guys, and you don't know if one of your guys' private information and all that stuff is in there. It's just bad for business. Know what I'm saying? Like, she should trust you enough to not want to do that. Ideally, even if you are doing other stuff, you're being honest about it. But I wouldn't say it's a, like, red, like, it's like that's like an orange flag, like an orange reddish flag. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't want to jump that don't trust you. If she don't trust you, you can't lead her.
That is true. But for me, it's more so the purpose of why you're going through. I'm pretty sure it was that tweet you sent me, like, why are you trying to catch your man cheating if you can't pay the bills in your house anyway? Like, so like, even if you going through a phone, you're trying to find something. That's what, if you're looking, you're going to find. Search and you shall find. So I feel like the going through it is definitely a red flag, because at that point, you're not trusting your man. And that's what we can't have. You have to literally trust your man completely, because it's his job to make good decisions. Like, if you can't trust him to not have shit publicly on his phone, or like just hanging out, how you gonna trust him to pay the bills or make these bigger decisions?
Exactly. Like, you can't be led by a man you can't trust. There's always gonna be some friction there and all that shit. It's like, focus on what you need to be doing, and it's being the best woman and wife you can be. Now I'm saying, hopefully your man is on that same vibe, which you'll know if y'all like, y'all being together, it's only gonna move y'all forward or backwards. So you're gonna know if shit ain't right.
Simple as that. She talks too much around your friends.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that, like, as being a red flag. Like, if she's just like talking too much, doing too much, saying things that she wasn't supposed to say because she just runs her mouth so much, or she in your friend's face, all that. I feel like all that can be seen as like a red flag. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, if y'all in the same setting, if it's a little conversation, that's not nothing. But like talking too much, I'm assuming like that's like, oh, y'all all in a kickback and she's moving around the room like a social butterfly, just all around your homies and just in positions she ain't supposed to be in, type shit.
That is true.
Red flag for sure.
A big red flag, because I feel like, especially like when it's a girl, she should, like, if y'all at like a social function, she should damn near be on your hip. Like, she should, especially if it's a social function with your friends, like friends she didn't know before you, type shit. Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, like, y'all can talk, but there's no reason y'all should have like a fucking like over a 10-minute conversation, like like really with anybody. That's, I feel like that should be the whole room, like throughout her whole, it should be like, hey, how are you? You know what I mean? Just casual shit. But if she's like having full-on conversations with these people, like cracking too many jokes, is like,
yeah, and this is happening often on a frequent basis. Like, I don't, like, to me that's definitely a red flag. I never really had to deal with that being with a woman, but I could imagine like a nigga just thinking, like, as his girls just talking to other niggas and you standing over here and you're like, I'm gonna leave this bitch.
Literally.
Like, as soon as the fucking event over, we break it up. Like, fuck that.
It gotta be like that though, for the simple fact. And I feel like it's just gonna be weird. Like, your friend probably tell you, like, even me, like, I wouldn't even feel comfortable talking to my friend girlfriend for that long, especially like we all here. Like, what the fuck I gotta talk to you about?
Facts.
Shit. Like, can't have shit. The only shit we got in common is him. So unless we planning something for this nigga, like, yeah, we doing this. But other than that, fuck that. She wears lashes on a regular basis.
She wears lashes on a regular basis. Yeah, red flag. To me, I don't even like going on a first date with a junk that wear makeup. I need to see the real you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to go to sleep and wake up to something different. Like, that ain't for me.
That's definitely me. I'm the same way. I don't like makeup a lot, like lashes, all that shit. It's like, really, I'd rather my girl like not wear makeup unless like it's a special occasion.
Yeah, that's exactly how I am. Not saying, but that's the things you gotta communicate with a woman. But hopefully, like me, like, you just find a junk that ain't really with the makeup shit in general. Yeah, special occasions, all that shit is cool. Like, she wanna, like, not saying, do a little extra sometimes. Like, women like doing that.
Yeah, that's okay. But on a regular basis, hell no. She has pictures of herself bent over, covering her private area, the Ice Spice pose.
Y'all already know, man. Huge red flag. If she's even anything like showing too much, like, if she's trying to draw attention to her like sexual features consistently, especially on the internet, red flag, bro. Like, she's advertising herself. Even if she is the most loyal junk, it's like, why would you want your junk even putting herself out there like that to make it even seem like she's available? It's like if I buy a car, I don't want the for sale sign still up in that bitch. You feel me? Like, it's a red flag.
That is very so true. It's like, that's with any poses. Like if she's touching herself in a provocative way, that's not she's not for you.
You don't want your kids seeing that and your daughter emulating that because mommy did it. I mean, like nah.
Literally, and like staying with like boobs too. Like she's gripping her boobs or like doing something like it's just not a classy. You want your girl to be somewhat classy and preserved. Like you don't want her doing.
And
stuff like
you
that.
Can have sex appeal without doing that type of shit. It's like. A lot of girls don't even have sex appeal because they be trying too hard. Like a joint, if she's doing it right, she can take a picture looking over her shoulder with her shoulder hanging out a little bit, and it will have more sex appeal than a bitch doing a Ice Spice pose just because her ass fat.
Exactly, because it's like you're saying less, so it kind of makes you want it more.
Yeah, exactly.
On this journey, especially like dealing with women, you're probably gonna get your heart broken, man. That's just me keeping it a buck. It's part of life. It's part of growth. So like men that has been through it, we know a little thing. So we finna teach y'all something very important. Probably the most important lesson is you have to be stoic when going through heartbreaks.
Yeah, you do. I think my only real heartbreak was, I would say, like I kind of broke my own heart because I was dating this joint and literally, she was a good girl and all that. And I ended up cheating like second or third day we was dating, and she found out about it. She ended up leaving me, and like that was like the only real like pain I had from a breakup. I'll say like that was the only one that like I say like really, really like I felt like heartbreak type shit. The other ones it was like I either broke it off or they like if they did it was cause me cheating, but we didn't already had been through so much shit that I was kind of already done anyway. So it was like only that little like I miss you pain a little bit wasn't like true heartbreak. But even the time I did, it's like after she was done with me, it's like I'm not the type, like I'm not about to be outside the window holding up the music and shit like that. Like to me, it's like bro, you got. Just keep moving forward, bro. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So keep that abundance mindset and stay stoic, like you said. Like, can't get too high, can't get too low. And part of like building up that stoicism is during the relationship while y'all going through the lovey-dovey and the butterfly phase. Don't let yourself get too attached. Don't let it get to the point where you get that one-itis and you, like me, I like to say like love a girl all you want, but as a man, don't fall in love. And if you don't fall in love, because to me, like when I say in love, I mean you're at the point where you're kind of putting her over your purpose. Know what I'm saying? Or even or they're evening out. Know what I'm saying? This is dangerous territory because that's where the hardest heartbreak. But even loving a joint, you can deal with some heartbreak, and it's just about keep moving forward, staying stoic, and abundance, man.
Definitely. I feel like that's the thing. You hit it right on the head. Why y'all in a relationship, don't get too high, don't get too low. Because I feel like that's what heartbreak is. You love her more. Like, I think somebody else said it too. Like if you love a girl too much, that's the only way you can get hurt. By like literally loving her too much. Because if you loved her as much as you should have loved her, you wouldn't be hurt as you left. You wouldn't have enjoyed the moment so much.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, it's gonna be like once you have that bond and like, because you know how I say like once y'all really together, y'all having raw sex frequently, y'all basically have that marriage type bond. And with that breaking, yeah, it's gonna be feelings, gonna be emotions there, but you can prevent like severe heartbreak by not falling in too deep. That's why, not saying nowadays you have to have one foot out the door a little bit, not saying when you're dealing with these jumps, because you got to understand the love you get from any woman outside of your mama and your daughter is and your family members is going to be conditional. There's going to be conditions of you providing and protecting and you consistently giving her that love that she wants.
Exactly. And as I like to say, your girl tell you she love you, you got to put right now in the end of that jump.
That's exactly what it is. And knowing those things, like those are just stoic principles to understand. Like, yeah, like I can't spend too much time focused with it. Like, and even like somebody like you're going through a heartbreak right now, and I don't know, you was on YouTube, you searched some shit up, and we popped up, and you clicked to this part of the video. Just understand that it does pass, and it feels like the biggest fucking thing in the world while you're going through it. And go through that, feel that shit, feel the fuck out that shit. I hope that shit make you a little bit angry, you know what I'm saying? I hope you get sad, and I hope you get angry, and I hope you use that energy and get your ass in the gym and become better, and you won't have to worry about getting your fucking heartbreak, because you're gonna be so much focused on yourself and your goals that, like, you know, I know how I like to say women should be the smallest problem in your life. You shouldn't have no woman problem. So if you carry those principles, you're not gonna really go through too much of heartbreak. Like, yeah, breaking up with a girl, it'll hurt, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit, but it won't be so severe as probably what you're going through now.
Exactly, because looking back at it, I've definitely had my share of heartbreaks. And, like, I'm talking, this is before I was stoic, so I was just getting too high and getting too low. So, like, I'm talking, like, crying type shit, like, on the phone with my mom, I'm crying with my mom, like, and now I look back at it, like, damn, nigga, like, she had you fucked up. But now I look back at it, like, I couldn't have really avoided, like, how bad it was if I was just more stoic and putting my purpose first. Like, a lot of times when I look back, I was putting her before everything type shit.
And that's what it is when you're younger, you don't know these things, and we live through, like, not all of our fathers, but most of our fathers' generation, for at least a part of their life, they kind of did put the family over their purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure, if you got your father still, it's pretty sure it's something that he wanted to do when he was younger that he's probably isn't doing now, and it's because he decided to put the family first. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of respect that comes with that, but you also have to remember, like, if you want to put your family in the best situation, you gotta keep your purpose first. You keep your purpose first, they just gonna benefit off that shit anyway. But it's different times, know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't have all the information that we have, so we get the benefit to learn from our father's mistakes and to learn from the men in the past, and the ones that did it right, the ones that did it wrong, or somewhere in between, you know what I'm saying? We can deal with these things in a better way, whether it's heartbreak or just, like, keeping your purpose first in general.
Definitely keeping your purpose first, for the simple fact that's really where we go wrong, putting it first. And also, bro, when you're dealing with this heartbreak stuff, bro, it hurts. But at the end of the day, if you, like, go back and, like, look at, like, the good that came from it, and, like, everything, because everything wasn't bad. Especially if you got your heart broken, there was a lot of good from it. Like, if you look back and are more present in the moment, like we said earlier, it's not gonna feel that bad, bro. Because, like, especially, like, nowadays, like, how I go through women now, not go through, but, like, have, like, interactions, it's more so, like, even if we stop talking, it's more so, when I think back at it, I just smile. Like, that's all you really
That's how you need to be. That's how you need to be, because the only way you're gonna have true gratitude for it is if you'll have true gratitude for that heartbreak. Because if you start to understand that there is no fucking happiness without sadness, there is no good times without bad times. It's like, if you never went through some shit, how the fuck you gonna feel good about, like getting everything you wanted? It's like, if we was just born and everything was perfect, we never had to go through any struggle, shit was up. Like, what the fuck? Like, we wouldn't even be men at that point. Like, we wouldn't have no ambition, no goals, nothing to strive for. But so that's why it's important to just see it from the perspective of gratitude, because it's good and all bad. Even if shorty cheated on you and left you, and she did this and all that shit, you gonna learn something from that shit, and it's always gonna be something to be grateful for in that. And I know shit sound like we speaking bullshit while you're going through it, but just keep taking it day by day. And shit, if you're going through heartbreak right now, you watching this shit, knock out 10 push-ups now. I'm saying, I bet you feel just a little bit better after that.
Definitely. And that's a big part of going through it. Like, if you are in that stage of heartbreak, you got to stay busy, bro. Like, that's the only thing that kept me sane. Like, that's when I really started going to the gym. I was like, I got so much extra time now. Shit, I started going through a gym. That's when I started really picking up Duolingo, just doing, like, little stuff. I even downloaded the game back then, just so I'm not constantly thinking about it.
Yeah. Type shit. Because I know, like, me, I'm not the biggest fucking lover boy, but I got a lot of homies that are, and it's like, there's nothing wrong with being that way. It's just about learning how to be stoic within that. Know what I'm saying? You can be a relationship type dude and just always want a relationship, but you just gotta understand that sometimes you gotta delay that gratification. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if you don't, you'll just get with anybody. You'll be with the wrong person and go through another heartbreak just because you feel like you need to be with somebody.
Exactly. Like, you always take that time to heal.
Yeah,
after
always take
every relationship.
Facts. Like, know what I'm saying? Because usually, like, from like it seems like the lover boys do kind of, they get it the hardest, it seems like, and they feel it the hardest most of the time. So it's just about just learning to understand like who you are, and like, okay, like, yeah, I am a relationship type guy. I do just want one girl, but like, I also have to understand that I have to be a superior man while also being that. So it's certain things, certain ways I gotta carry myself when it comes to this.
Exactly. And
I can't be so serious about the shit she's doing, or if she does leave me and shit.
Definitely. And another thing that will really help, pick better women, bro. That's really what it comes down to. And like, I brought this up like earlier with the Lori Harvey and Damon's.
Damon.
It's so you do pronounce it Damon, okay?
Yeah, I think so.
Idris or whatever. But like with that, like I'm not even saying bro heartbroken. I'm not even gonna say that. But I can tell you he was not stoic about the whole process. Cause you seen that picture, he was smiling like cheesing real hard. Like,
yeah. He looked like he got too high in that moment.
Literally. And like people were tweeting about it as well. Like a girl was like, he looked just too happy. I mean,
I think to me, that breakup came so quick after that sex scene he had with Chloe Bailey. I think that might have had something to do with it.
It probably
just by seeing how she is, and she looks like the type that she would get like jealous about that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it probably cause some type of friction or argument.
Hey, especially because it's Chloe Bailey. Especially it was
exactly it being who he is. Who it is, somebody that's actually talented. Because what the fuck does Lori Harvey do?
That's a great thing.
Exactly.
We don't know. We don't really know. Mm-hmm. But it was still like, I feel like he shouldn't have seen it coming. He shouldn't have known this was gonna come, for the simple fact, you got to look at a woman's history, man, and that's really what it comes down to. She's been with these men. I'm not gonna say high value, but men of money, men of status. So doing that, and she's left them. She's left them all. Like, so what makes you special? Like, you're not trying to like, everybody's special in their own way, but what makes you different than fucking Future or Michael B. Jordan? Like, what makes you, why do you think you're gonna change this girl so much? Where, she's gonna stay with me, blah blah blah. I'm different than them other niggas.
You can't be got to save a hoe, and one thing about it, you're gonna get the same lesson over and over and over again until you learn from it. So, you do definitely gotta pick better women.
Definitely. So, and I feel like that's what it is. Like, he should have known, like, this is just going to be a girl for fun. Like, we might mess around with each other, but it's never going to be nothing serious.
Facts.
Can't be. And on this journey, bro, like, there's a lot of lessons we come across. And one of the biggest lessons I learned that really helped me, pre-making my decisions, bro. For the simple fact, every time we make a decision, we use brain power. I mean, and like, so the more brain power we use, the less we're gonna have for the day until like we recharge, like go to sleep. I mean, and then we're back at 100. But throughout the day, we're just constantly making decisions, small and large. So one thing that really helps, make your decisions the night before or the day before. So when it comes down to it, you don't have to waste time and energy trying to think what's gonna be the best possible route to take, a routine.
I totally agree with that. And sometimes, like, I think having a base decision, and then say you set your time to go to the gym at 7 a.m. Say you're a 7 a.m. gym dude. So you just keep that decision for however long until you come to a day where you have a meeting at 7. Now you just adjust it instead of trying to wake up every day and be like, okay, what time I'm gonna go to the gym today? Because like you said, you wasting brain power at that. So it's as far ahead as you can. Go ahead and pre-make that decision. You know what I'm saying? So you're not trying to. And then I also add on to that is to say when you are making decisions, make them quick, man. Like
Hell.
it's um you get fatigued from just making decisions. Know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So or if you just thinking about the certain things so long, whether or not you want to stay in a relationship, whether you should get blue shoes or red shoes, or whether you should get this, or whether you should get that, like those pre-made like just going ahead and making that decision quick, especially when it comes to stuff like what you're gonna eat. Those are good things to pre-make the decision. But like say okay you're out of town and you need to decide which restaurant you go to. Just pick one. Just literally just pick one and do the next one next time, and just make it as simple as possible. And that'll make you better with women too, because women don't want to have to make decisions when they're with a man. They rather, especially when they're in their feminine energy. Now, if a woman she has her business and all that shit, then yeah, she's gonna have to learn how to make quick decisions as well, because she has to operate in her masculine energy when she's running a business. But when she's with you and all that stuff, like she's gonna want to be in her feminine energy and just would rather be told what she's about to eat rather than having you asking her and you like, oh well, we could do this or do this or do this. Me, just from reading the Way of the Spirit, man, I started to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and pick something. And if she don't know, like if she doesn't come with me with an idea, then I'm gonna be like, yo, we're about to get this, or we're about to get this, or I'm going out this side of town and I'm going to this spot. Do you want this, or I can get something else on the way back? Just making it quick so I don't have to waste too much brain power. Just like how you said with the pre-made decisions.
Literally, and you hit it right on the head. Fast decisions as well. Like making fast decisions, it literally makes you more masculine. Simple as that. Like you feel more in control of your life. Because if you're over here debating with yourself back and forth, even when you come to that final answer, it's like you don't even really want to do it for real. You wasn't sure about it, so your plan might fail. Like if you like, just for example, let's say you coming up with a plan to rob a bank, right? We trying to rob a bank. If I'm over here like juggling which decision should we make, should we go in through the front door or the back door? How we gonna take out the seat? If I'm doing all this, you not gonna want to rob a bank with me, my nigga.
Yeah, because it's like you're like those decisions, like you might need to think about a little bit more to discuss. Like okay, like so well to me it's not even too much of a discussion. It's just finding out okay, how's the security at the front and how's the security at the back, and then boom, we make the decision off that. It doesn't need to be take me 3 days, because those decisions that you sit in your head and you are taking days and days and you haven't picked and choose. Yeah, you waiting to go back to it and shit. Like,
and those decisions gonna help you make decisions faster. Like since you made that decision, now your next decision is gonna be quicker. But if you drastically make slow decisions, all your decisions are gonna be slow. Simple as that. And really, when you're doing it, it's like you don't know what's right or wrong. Like so it's like. It's just like choosing A or B, and like they're both are like roads, and you don't know where they lead to. Type shit. Like you don't know anyway, so you might as well pick one, and then after you pick, you just got to live with your decision.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, pick them fast and learn from them. Like that's it. That's a big part of like a section in the Way of the Superior Man. It's like when you making your decisions, it's so like if you fuck up, it's okay, but you made that decision and you can own that decision. Exactly. You can take accountability, and now you can learn like, all right, and this how I need to operate next time because I fucked up right here.
Exactly.
Like, that's growth.
Literally, and that's another thing I hear. Like I was reading this book. It's like this guy. He writes all the major decisions he makes. He writes them down, and then he reviews them like later on to know like, oh, was this a good decision? Was this a bad decision?
That's how I do with like my trading and stuff. Like I journal my trades and then I review them after I'm finished a market session. You know what I'm saying? And going over them and reviewing, like especially like the decisions you made, especially the big ones. Those are gonna help you make better big decisions in the future.
Exactly. Just learn from it. And this is a little controversial, man. But I promise you, everything we're stating is straight facts right now. Like it's straight facts.
Facts.
If you get with a girl, and this is just my point of view, her like you've been with multiple women, like in vagina is different for every woman. Like every girl vagina kind of does feel different. Like everyone has their different like I mean, little perks to it.
Little subtle, know what I'm saying, differences, know what I'm saying. And I think, I mean, as a man, you're gonna want, like, we had a conversation, and when it came up, we decided to call it base pussy. You know?
Basically.
Like, whether you're a one woman guy, whether you're a poly guy, whether you got hoes, whether you got this or you got that, if you have a quote unquote man girl, you have a wife, you have a girlfriend, you're gonna want the sex to be good because that's your base pussy.
Literally,
if you're a one woman guy, then you really want to make sure your base pussy is good. And good is gonna be different to each dude. Know what I'm saying? Some dudes like small vagina, some like fat, some like this, some like that. Some dudes like bushes, some dudes don't play in the bushes. Like, whatever type of guy you are, you just want to make sure like the base pussy is right for you, because your base pussy might not be right for my base pussy. Like, you might like big girl pussy. Yeah.
Why I gotta like big girl pussy?
Or you
See,
like
that's that shit, man.
You like extra twang, and I don't.
But literally, to each his own type shit.
Facts.
But I'm just saying. So what we saying is, bro, your base coochie. Let's say the best coochie you've ever had in your life was a 10. You've had a 10 in your book. It was a 10. Your base pussy has to be at least an 8.
Facts.
Because if it's not, you're gonna run rampant, and you're probably gonna get bored in that thing, man.
Yeah, you will, and it's like, of course, the growth in intimacy is your job as a man. Like, that's definitely your job, but having base pussy that's adequate for you is gonna make that easier for you to make the intimacy better, and ultimately the sexual relationship gets better. And I'm saying, like, if you want to get a little deeper into it, like, especially for the players out there, shout out to players, you know, all the players around the world. Yeah. I'm saying salute. But if you like that, then shit, your base pussy and your base head might be different, you know, like,
that is true.
Depending on how you operate. Ideally, you want your base pussy and base head on the same person, but it might not be like that depending on how you operate.
Definitely, and these are factors you really have to take in.
You gotta consider it, because you don't want to get down the line and you're not satisfied with your base pussy, because now it's like the emotions and all that is there. So if you lose your base pussy, even if it wasn't the best, you probably gonna feel some type of way, and then you're gonna lead into the heartbreak section like we was talking about earlier. Or I mean, her feelings gonna be hurt regardless. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why, like, you can't fall for those 90-day rules and all that bullshit, because you need to make sure the base pussy is right before you commit.
Definitely. And for the people, I already know what they're gonna say. Oh, like, sex gets better over time. It does.
Yeah. When y'all get more comfortable with each other and all that. Yeah.
But I came up, like, I learned this, bro. There's a limit on sexual chemistry between people, though. There's a limit to how good your sex is gonna be. I truly do believe that, cause, like, even like with every girl I've ever had sex with, I can not remember the best, but there has been the best, and it has just never been better type shit. So, like, that's why sex with this person might be a little better with another person type shit.
And then it'll be different levels of chemistry between people. So it's like the chemistry you have with this one girl might be different from the one you have with this girl. And sometimes you might have better sexual chemistry with the thought, but you know you don't want the thought long term. So it's gonna take some time. That's why we were saying earlier, like, don't be so quick to rush into relationships or to jump from one person to the next person, because like of course we talk about all the other qualities we know we want in a woman, but the base pussy is very, very important as well.
Exactly, simple as that. And like, even the first time you have sex with a girl, I feel like you can kind of gauge like where it's gonna go. Like, cause granted, y'all might not be the most, like, it's gonna get better. We already said the sex is gonna get better, so it might not be the best time. But like, you know, if the first time y'all had sex, that shit was straight trash, like trash, it's probably not gonna be the best sex you ever had, bro. Like, and that's just facts. Like, it might get better, yes, but you should know in the back of your head, yeah, she's not gonna be as good as my other freak that rocked my world the first time we had sex, it was damn near 8 already. So you know, if it was an 8 already, it's gonna be a 10 or like a 9.5. But if it started off like the first time you had sex, it was like a 6. You might can reach that 8, but you don't want to reach that 8. You kind of want to be already at that 8 or like a 7.5 between the first time and then build on that.
Facts. And well, it's like, and especially the less experienced she is gonna make it easier for that to happen, because the more dick she had, the more she gonna be worried about her base dick instead of just her pussy kind of molding to the dick that's most consistent with her. You need to keep that in mind too. That's why we say don't be cuffing these hoes, man.
Literally, and that was a great point for the simple fact, if she has a lot of bodies and shit, now she's comparing you to all the other guys that have had sex with her. And depends on how big of a hoe she is, you don't want to be getting compared, bro. And that's just facts. Especially if you're not as experienced, there's gonna be a nigga that was slanging better than you. That's just reality. Especially if she had like 20 other niggas, bro. Granted, if you're a high value man like us, you an islander, you might can be in that 1%. But if you not, you can't compete, bro. Simple as that. You won't be able to compete. Boom. So keep your base pushing your base head up there, know what I mean? So you don't gotta go through these problems and that heartbreak.
Facts.
But that is the end of today's episode, man. Thank y'all for watching the whole thing. Make sure y'all leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to the channel.
And share with somebody that need this info, man. Especially if you a dude. I know you got dudes, you know. But shit, the ladies too, know what I'm saying? You want the men in your life to be some strong. Man, you don't want no weak-ass niggas in your life, because who you gonna call when someone fucking with you?
Exactly.
One of your weak family members or your strong ones, know what I'm saying? We want everybody shit. Everybody in the islander community and everybody y'all fuck with, know what I'm saying? We want everybody to be strong, the best version of themselves, and just getting better every day, man.
Definitely. And I like that, especially if you're a girl watching this, and like, because we probably better than y'all boyfriends anyway, so like send this to him so he can get better. Facts. I mean, help him out. Like, it definitely would do some good.
He might leave you if you're bad bass player.
Simple as that. He might leave, but it's gonna be for the best, man. It's gonna be for the betterment of you and him.
Facts. And with that, we love y'all. We out.
Love y'all, man.